good morning. Or depending on where you're watching this from, good evening. I'm thinking long and hard about how I want this message to be. It's my diary, but it's also a message, right? I figured I wouldn't just talk about me today. I want to reach out to the person, if somebody's watching this, if you're like I was broken, afraid. I was in a cycle, man. I couldn't break that cycle. I could get a little bit of time, but I mean a little bit of time. We're talking days. There was a time I couldn't even get days, but that was years ago. This last season of my life, that's what I'll call it, season of my life, I couldn't get more than a week. I share that all the time. I want to speak to that person that may be watching this, or those people that are out there that have come across this and they, were like I was, searching for a video that might help, listening for the right song that might come on, scanning through the radio, trying to find that one message, and hopefully they're not talking about me. But it didn't matter, I thought they were. It's okay. If you're struggling, it may feel like the end of the world right now. It may feel like, man, I don't get it. Nothing's working. I felt just like that. I was broken. I am broken. Just because I have the time I have right now, which is a little bit, it's a lot, but, it's not like I have years clean. I was broken and I am broken. And the only thing that ever worked for me was following this. And even this, I still go through my weird shit. I talk to people that I don't even know. Sometimes I wonder if there's somebody else. I don't think normal people do that. But I'm not normal. And I accept that. I love you. And I care for you. And I just want anybody watching this to know that it's okay. It's gonna be okay. There's a saying, we're not as good as we thought we were, and we're not as bad as we thought we were. I always thought I was either too good or too bad. And I was just me. And that goes the same right now. I'm not as good as I think I am, but I'm not as bad as I thought I am. It still applies, even though I'm not getting loaded. What helps me is people. What helps me when there's nobody? A higher power. You may not have a concept of a higher power. You may have given up on a higher power altogether. You may think that that's impossible. But I ask this one question. Let's pretend that it might be possible. Is it possible that there could be that there could be something out there that no matter what has its best interest at your heart? Is it possible that all these people are staying clean even though they don't want to? And it's that's helping them get there. See, my story doesn't have that. I didn't question the higher power. But I've heard so many stories of people who came in there's no way. If there was, then how could it let me do this? How could it let these things happen? I watched a movie this weekend. It was about a guy whose daughter got kidnapped and she was taken by a monster. And when the police found everything, and he was there, he was in this shack. And so, after all that, he didn't have a question of if he believed. He hated. He hated. And he wanted this monster to die. And he hated his higher power. Which, if something like that were to happen to me, you know, Lucy, or like any of my kids, I've got a bunch, I don't see how I couldn't feel that way. I wouldn't want to. It's easy for me to say that right now, but I don't see how I could not. That's the area of my life. I've never really blamed or yelled at my higher power, but I've never had a child have something like that happen to them. So how can I sit back and just say, oh, I would be like this? I don't see how I wouldn't. I just pray that I wouldn't. But in that story, he was asked, his higher power told him that all of these people are his children. And he was asked, if you had to choose on which one of your kids had to die, which one would you choose? And then he started showing some stuff about his two kids that were alive, and he asked not to make that decision. He said, you know, you've got to make the decision. I'm letting you take the power. You tell me which one of your two kids goes to heaven and which one doesn't. And it gave me a little bit of perspective for myself about something out there that loves everybody, no matter how bad the situation is. No, I believe a monster, there's one on trial right now, shouldn't be alive. But I'm so glad I don't get to be the judge. I'm so glad I don't get to be the jury. And I believe that my higher power works that way. That's a tough gig. I believe that there's some stuff I've done that you would call unforgivable, and others would look at it and say that's nothing compared to what I've done. And so what I want to say here is, maybe give it a try. And I'm not necessarily talking about the meetings or the literature. Although I pitch that a lot, don't I? It's working for me. I'm referring to something else. Maybe give a shot that there might be this thing out there, and you don't know what it is, and you're not sure. But everything that's going on in your life just isn't quite working the way you expected it to. You thought maybe you'd be so far along by now, or maybe you just wouldn't have been like this, or maybe any of that. All that stuff I thought, you know. I mean, I am 46. And maybe just look up and say, I don't know if you even exist. And I don't know what you are, but I need help. And I don't want to feel like this anymore. Just that. So I'm willing to give it a shot. And I'm not talking about God. For me, that's God. But I'm in a program where spirituality is a big deal. And we're a spiritual, not religious program. And I'm not saying come join my program. Although it's helped me. I'm just talking about an idea that there might be something out there. Whether it's nature, we're all connected to nature, right? We breathe out so the trees can breathe in, so they can breathe out so we can breathe in. There's something special about that. I think we're really the one species on this planet that keeps these trees going, but these trees have been around since before us, so, you know, but I do feel like there's a connection there. Maybe it's that. Maybe it's the moon, sun, and stars. I don't know what it would be for each individual. I just know this. That concept for me gives me the ability to say, I can't handle this. It's out of my control. It's already happened. I don't want to beat myself up anymore. Can I put it on you? See what happens. May or may not work for you. It works for me. And I'm not unique, so it's worked for others. And I just want to tell whoever's watching this, if you're in the dark place, I love you. My heart goes out to you. I've been there so many times. And I might not have been exactly where you are. But if, you know, like there's people out there that have been there with kids. I've been there. We're not all in the same scenarios. We're not all in the same shit, but there's some similarities. I was so busy looking at the differences the first couple of years that it had me turn away from it altogether just by getting loaded. And I'm not saying that if you do everything I'm doing, it's going to work for you. I just want to give you this video hug and tell you I love you. That you're needed. That you're wanted. That was given to me. So I give it to you. It's gonna be okay. I know exactly what that feels like. At least the feeling. We just want to say fuck people. Fuck everything. Fuck everybody. Fuck life. It's miserable. I believe that life is beautiful and it can be miserable. It can be a cold-hearted son of a bitch. But it could also be grand. I was on my kayak the other day and it's like, why haven't I seen this all these years? Why have I been too afraid to go out to it? And it took like a series of events for me to just hop on that bitch and go out. That's a higher power thing for me. So if you don't have one, you can borrow mine. But I'm not asking you to ask for mine. I'm asking mine to help you until you find yours. Because I care about you. And I may not even know you, but I care about everybody out here freaking in pain. And if you're watching this, it will get better. And it won't. It'll get different. But I heard somebody say this. Like I heard somebody once say it gets different before it gets better. And then I heard people say it may not get better. I don't ever want to be part of something that doesn't get better. I didn't do this to not get better. Sure, it might get different because I'm not getting loaded. But even now, with all the shit I got going on, and trust me, there's a lot of shit in here. I wake up with it. I go to bed with it. When I'm by myself, I'm with it. But it's still better. It's still a lot better than when I was sitting there in my psychosis and my paranoia and my all of it. just trying to figure out the fuck happened, knowing what the fuck happened. Just feeling like I wasn't valued, understood, or loved. I know what it's like to fucking search on the ground for shit. I know what it's like to fucking walk around and not want to make eye contact with people. I know what it's like. And I will say this. The way I feel now versus the way I felt then, it's worth it. It's worth it. Even if I'm doing it sometimes by myself, but mainly never by myself. It's worth it. I'm in the right area for it for me, but I think we take ourselves wherever we go and we're greeted by the right thing. So I hope you feel better. And if you're not feeling better, I hope you do start to. Bye.